Alright, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk about post scoring guards and just guards in general who are known for playing with their back to the basket. I feel like this is definitely a lost art in today's NBA. As we know, NBA's most players are just known for taking high volume 3-point shots or driving to the basket to get a dunk or layup or draw fouls to shoot free throw shots. That's what the game is mostly today in the NBA. Back then, there was much more of a presence and emphasis on the in-between game, the mid-range, and there was a lot of post-up play. It was completely different from what it is today. I know people, when they think about post scoring and back to basket scoring, they just think about bigs as post scorers, like power forwards and centers. But there were guards back then in the 2000s, 90s, 80s, and even 70s and pre 2020s, pretty much, that can play with their back to the basket, and they had really good post moves, man. A lot of people, just think about Jordan, Kobe. Of course, to me, those two are without a doubt the best post-up scoring guards ever. Bean and Jordan, man, they really are similar. Kobe pretty much studied MJ's game in the post, the footwork, the post fadeaway shot. He pretty much patterned his game after MJ. But there was plenty of other guards who can play with their back to the basket. Chauncey Billups, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson will literally bring the ball up while posting up, and his back is literally towards the basket, and he will get into the half court to set up the offense. We all know Mark Jackson is literally one of the best playmakers ever in NBA history. Man, accumulated a lot of assists, and he was really good with just playing in the post. Magic Johnson brought the ball up in the post as well, and bro, it was just a different game. Guards can play with their back to the basket, and it will be just an elite skill to have in your bag, and it can really separate you from other offensive players. Let's just say if someone's shot is not falling, their threes is not falling, or their spot up jump shot is not falling, their shot rating is just not working. Bro, when it comes to the post, that can really be just a lethal move to have. Because especially in today's NBA, right? Because I really feel like it will confuse a lot of these newer players who really probably don't know how to defend a guard in the post. Again, 90s guards would definitely post you up. Again, Mark Jackson, Gary Payton. But there's a few guards today that can really play in the post. The only ones that I can really think about is Jrue Holiday. He posts up every once in a while. He really kind of does it aggressively too. He kind of at times play that bully ball. But guards that can really score in the post today is Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic. They're really good post scoring guards. But I wanted to talk about this because I seen Jalen Brunson. He did an interview and he mentioned how important it is to have post scoring moves and just to have skills in the post to be an elite level offensive player. So I'm gonna play the audio and I'm gonna come back.
Some players should really learn, no matter what position you play, is like post work, because that's where the footwork comes from. And so obviously you work on your pump face, your step throughs, and all that stuff, like working off 2 feet and all that. Works on your touch around the rim. And so when you're driving the basketball, good defenders are going to cut you off. You're not going to be able to get to the rim all the time. And so do you just stop and throw some whatever on the rim, or do you take your time and figure out how can I maneuver myself to get a good quality shot, maybe defended, but it's going to be quality, you're going to be on balance, and you're going to act like you've been there before. And so I just remember when I was younger working on stuff like that, not really knowing that it was gonna translate to when I'm actually driving the ball and like stepping through and being in the lane, and maybe not being on the block, but I'm at the elbow doing that stuff, and then all of a sudden the defender's out of the picture and I'm shooting a floater.
Yeah, it's an elite Just an elite move to have, yo. Man, Brunson is just really good at scoring in the post. And I just wanted to show some clips of him, doing some post moves. Look at that on Franz Wagner, a guy who's almost a foot taller than him. Just look at that, an elite scorer in the post for a guy who's only 6'1". Look at that, back down into a jump hook. This is a guy who's 6'1". Look at that, back down. Look at that, floater in the lane. A guy who's 6'1", y'all. Look at that, bang. Look at that, look at the craftiness. Again, just getting into his spot and just killing people in the post. He is listed at 6'1", but Jalen Brunson to me looks a bit smaller than that. He looked like he's about pretty much my height. I'm 5'10" and a half. He's listed at 6'1". Sometimes you see he's 6'2", but hey, he, as we saw from the clips, he was scoring on Franz Wagner and other players who are, again, almost a foot taller than him. Guys who are 6'8", 6'9", 6'5", 6'6". Guys that are much bigger than him. Just an elite isolation scorer. And again, he's just a very tough one-on-one player because of his post moves that he worked on. Like he mentioned, the craft, the touch around the basket, finishing ability. And dude, it's just a lethal move to have. Just the array of pivots and fakes. This is what a lot of guards should. I really feel like a lot of guards should work on it. And just talking about scoring in the post and getting in the paint, I wanted to bring up Tony Parker as well because he was a guy who scored a lot of points in the paint. He really didn't play with his back to the basket per se, but he, like how Jalen Brunson mentioned, would score in the paint. Although it wouldn't be like getting all the way to the rim, like how Jalen Brunson mentioned. Just getting even to the paint. As soon as you cross the free throw line, you are officially in the paint. You're in the painted area. So you can just throw a little floater or a runner, and yeah, that's just a lethal move to have. You don't always have to get all the way to the basket for a dunk or a layup. And that was TP's Tony Parker bread and butter. So this is a little article talking about Tony Parker's game and his bread and butter shot, the teardrop. Again, also known as the floater or runner. They all mean the same thing. You can use them interchangeably. But yeah, that is pretty much how Tony Parker scored most of his points. That was truly his bread and butter. He wasn't like a Ja Morant, right? He wasn't like they're both the same height, about 6'2", 6'3". But Ja Morant game is different. He's more athletic. Ja Morant can literally get to the rim and score. He's dunking on people. He can do acrobatic layups. Switch the ball to the other hand and finish with the other hand for a layup. Again, the acrobatic move. But TP, he really wasn't like that. He was quick. He was fast, but he wasn't really athletic. He got to the paint. Like I said, as soon as he touched the paint, he would just throw a little floater, a little push shot, a little runner. And it was money all day. It was money all day. So at one point in 2006, Tony Parker was literally one of the leading league leaders in points in the paint. And he mentioned his signature shot. And he said it's all credit due to the teardrop. So look what he told IGN Sports in 2006. It's all about the teardrop. That's why I want to come in and do motion capture for EA, so they can get the teardrop in the game. EA Sports, was doing an NBA basketball game, and he wanted to pretty much, make sure the game had his exact floor down pack. And that's pretty dope. So he goes on and says, so many players want to go in and dunk, but when the defense runs up on you, one of the best ways to score is to throw the ball up over and top, and that's why the teardrop is more effective. It's a shot young players should work on. Again, it really is. Players should definitely get more into that paint, especially in today's NBA. I see a lot of people just really settling for jump shots. It's like they really don't want to go and attack the basket. I miss that. I really miss that. Some people, will go into attack the basket nowadays just to like kind of draw a foul. But back then, these players will go in to attack the basket because they really was trying to get a bucket. And again, of course, attacking the basket just naturally at times, just draw fouls. But yeah, that was TP's game. And look what the article mentioned. If Michael Jordan had a fadeaway, Kareem had the sky hook shot, Tony Parker had the floater. He really did. I remember being in my backyard trying to copy his moves, man, because I pretty much am like, was kind of built like Tony Parker. I'm just like a slim, skinny guy, really fast. And I remember just being a kid, just looking up Tony Parker highlights, and going into my backyard, to try to practice my floater and shoot it like him. But yeah, TP, man. And look, what the article mentions as well. Tony Parker never shot less than 57% from 0 to 3 feet from the basket in any season. He converted at least 59.9% of shots from that area in 15 of his 18 seasons in the league, including shooting 70% in the 2005-2006 NBA season. That's amazing. He's a guy who's not like a Morant or a Derrick Rose or Russell Westbrook, a super athletic guard who can always get to the rim, like how Brunson mentioned. You can just touch the paint and just throw a floater. It's smart basketball because the lane does get clogged up, especially around that time in the 2000s when the defense was definitely much more tougher than it is today. So yeah, I really feel like scoring in the paint and just getting into the post is something a lot of guards should work on today. But Luka is one of those players, man. Luka is one of those players who can also score in the post. Look at that. Beautiful post-up game. Get that. Back down. And look at that. A good passer out the post. See how he draws the defense with his post scoring? It doesn't have to always be, getting buckets in the post. If you're a good post scorer, a lot of, the teams, would start to double you, and you can just kick it out to your open teammate. You know what I'm saying? It's simple basketball. Sometimes a lot of people try to overcomplicate the game, but it can just be as simple as that. You're a good post scorer, draw the double team, kick it out to your open teammate for an easy shot, for a nice, easy, open look. We just take a look at Bean, man. Kobe Bryant. One of the best post scorers ever. Look at that. Bang, bang in the post. That smash mouth basketball. Something we really don't see nowadays. This is skill right here. Straight up skill. And this is on tough defense. Look at that. Walk out. Look at that. Back down shot. Money. That's money all day. And look at the GOAT. Greatest player of all time. Look at that. Pump fake. Up and under. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Look at that. Look at the pivots. The fakes. Oh my God, the hang time, bro. This is a lost art. This is just poetry in motion. Look at that. Back down, spin. Tough on tough defense. That was a tough shot, yo. Beautiful. Look at that. Get into the lane, post shot, just fade away. Post shot, fade away. Jordan's bread and butter. And the thing with MJ, right? When MJ first started, he was known as a slasher, right? He was known for his really fast first step. That's why one of his nicknames was the Black Cat. He would just blow by his opponent and get to the cup for a dunk or layup, or he would hang in the air and wait for the defender to come down, and then he would just lay it up. And that's why one of his other nicknames is his airness. Michael Jordan was different. But yeah, his first 3 to 4 years within the NBA, Jordan was really a great slasher. He developed his mid-range game, right before the first three-peat started. He started the post scoring, the mid-range shots. He really worked on that. He emphasized more on his mid-range game as he got older because he knew he had to. Bro. And it just really makes you a more effective basketball player, man. But yeah, the elite footwork, the shot fakes, the passes, the ball fakes, the body fakes, man. A lot of guards were scoring in the post. And look at that, one of my favorite players ever too, Penny Hardaway, yo. He was another cat that was known for scoring in the post. Again, a lot of guards. Post scoring isn't just a big man skill. A lot of guards were scoring in the post. Penny, Baron Davis. I said Chauncey Billups as well. GP, Gary Payton. Jason Kidd, he had a nice little post game as well. Andre Miller too. His post up game was actually crazy. Kyrie has it as well. And again, I did say Jrue Holiday, but man, it's not like how it is today. I really think the most elite post scoring guards are Brunson and Luka Doncic. And for Jalen Brunson to be a guy who's allegedly 6'1", scoring in the post like that is just amazing. And he's one of the best scorers in the NBA, along with Luka Doncic. And Luka Doncic is obviously a much bigger player, 6'8". So he's just a smart guy. He's already a high IQ player, and that's what makes him so elite. Because Luka has the 3-ball. He can score in the post. He really doesn't attack the basket like a real fast slasher type of player, but he would really just back you down. Look up the games. Luka would just back you down from the he could score in the elbow, also known as the high post. He would back you down from there, and he would just back you down all the way to the cup to score. He'll hit you with some fakes, some pivot moves, some jab steps, some up and unders, and then he would just lay the ball up or just shoot over you after he creates a little space. And man, this is something I really feel like a lot of guards should have, man. Because look what it did for Jordan. Look what it did for Jordan and Kobe. Look at Brunson. And look at all these other players, man. That post scoring really helped the players become better scorers. Because I'm really telling you that they wouldn't have gotten buckets like that if they didn't have a post game. But hey, it's a different league, and maybe one day post scoring will come back into the NBA. Times change. I know right now it's the 3-point era, and I love the 3-point shot. Don't get it twisted. I love threes. I love shooters. That's kind of honestly my favorite type of players that can shoot the ball. But man, I would love to see a nice post fadeaway shot. You know what I'm saying? But hey, again, we will see if that becomes a more common thing in the league again. We have more post scoring back to basket guards. That would be really dope to see. But yeah, man, you guys tell me your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below about post scoring guards and guards playing with their back to the basket. Do you also agree with me? Do you love seeing guards with elite post scoring moves and just being skilled in the post? Or hey, you don't really care for that and it is what it is. But man, tell me your thoughts and opinions, man. I just wanted to talk about something different, like a different aspect when it comes to basketball. I want to talk about the skill sets and and just moves when it comes to basketball. Styles of different styles of play, different play styles and different games that players have. Definitely gonna start talking about that more. All right, again, tell me your thoughts and opinions. Like, subscribe. Till next video.